Hey everybody, Soybean Farmer here. Well, I'm getting closer to finishing up with my sweet gum tree project removal. Ran the saw, about 6 tanks of fuel through it since the last time I had to deal with loose chain, and so need to tighten that up. And need to take a little bit of time to sharpen it a little bit. This is one of the quick file sharpeners that I use. So let's loosen this a little bit. And same old thing, screwdriver in this slot here, and alright, tighten that up. There we go. Took about a half turn on that screw this time to get that tight. Well, we've got to October the 4th today. It's a beautiful day here. High temperature was about 77 degrees. And I got home from work. I got in about 5 this afternoon. I was on the opening shift today. There. Alright, take care of that. Yeah, I don't know. People might know about this type of file with the guide set up on it. The teeth on this saw are the ones that are cut at the 30-degree angle. If that'll focus, you can see there's a line right across here. And when you lay the file on the bar and get that line to line up with the bar, and then just try not to be moving like that. It takes a steady hand. I've been doing this quite a few years, and it took me a while to get good at it, but finally I got there. But I just realized I can't do this worth a flip without my glasses on, so I'll be right back. There, got my glasses. I can actually see they cut a laser mark on every tooth, and you know, if you do it without this, it comes off pretty easy. You just lay the file up here and stand in such a way that you can line the laser mark up parallel with the file, and then move the file away like that. It takes about 4 strokes to actually get the tooth back in good shape. Now, it took me a while to get this chain. Chain wasn't totally ruined after I hit that barbed wire the other day. It was about 15 strokes on each tooth, and I was able to knock the neck side of it. So I got it back in good shape and did a whole lot of cutting with it, but I'm back to the point now where it's dull. But if you do it like that, you know, it's pretty easy. I like this thing. And just stick it on here like that. Snap it in place. And little snaps going around the back side like that. Get your thumb on it until it snaps in, and snap it in. It just makes it easy to line up on that line every time. Plus, it keeps you from wobbling that way. Now, something else I like to do to make it simple, I'm going to start with this tooth right here, and I'm going to color that one with this Sharpie. So as I rotate the chain around, I don't have to count teeth or anything like that. I just know when I get back to the one that's colored, I've been around the chain once. Makes it easy. Had a little heartbreak the other day. The last, you know, I got those glasses, and I was really enjoying those things. And the last video I made with them, I was up there at the combine talking about adjusting the combine, changing it back from the wheat settings to soybean settings. And I went from that back to my wood cutting project. Oh, somebody revving their motor over there. I went from that back to my wood cutting project, and took the glasses and was going to make a video, and I thought they were recording, and they weren't. And when I went to turn them off and go through the little sequence of all the beeping that they do, they didn't act right. But the place I bought them from has a technical support phone number, so I gave them a call and got through on the second attempt. Talked to a real human and gave him a description of what the glasses were doing. And he gave me he said, well, it sounds like the battery's too weak for them to operate. Charge them about 4 hours and try it again and call me back. And that worked out really good because they were out in mountain time. I'm over here on the East Coast, so it's a 2-hour difference. So I charged him 4 hours and called him back and told him that didn't fix it. So we did a format of the, basically all that did was format the memory card. There's some stuff going on in the processor. I don't know whether it actually rebooted that or not, but we tried that and that didn't fix it. Well, I had caught them just before they were going home and he was patient with me. So I sent them an email and asked them for RMA number, something about return authorization, return materials authorization, because they're under warranty. They got a year warranty on them. And that was Friday. They were closed Saturday and Sunday. They came back in on Monday, found my email, and sent me an RMA number with instructions for packaging and, be sure to send everything I received with the glasses back to them. So I did. And it looks like the mail people said it'd be about 4 days before it got out there. Took it Tuesday, and she said it'd be there Friday, and then they said they had processing time. Well, I'm really hoping to get those glasses back before harvest time, because I was so looking forward to having those. In fact, that's why I bought them. Operating a combine in variable field conditions, you need to have both hands to get to your controls. You need to be able to operate your variable speed, because the objective is to keep a steady amount of material flowing in on that platform, coming up through that feeder housing and hitting that concave and the rasbar cylinder. Because if it's uneven, the machine does an uneven job of thrashing. So you've got to be able to have a free hand to get to that variable ground speed control. And then I've got this massive fire ant problem, so I need a free hand to get to the platform lift, because I don't want to take fire ants up in that combine. That is the last thing I want in there with me. I don't know if you've ever been, it is a sting, it ain't a bite, and it's about, in my chemistry on my body, it's about 3 days of some pretty serious misery. Not fun at all. But anyhow, hoping to get the glasses back. Yeah, that's all it takes, about 4 strokes. You stay on top of these chains and you can keep them in good shape. Keep them tight, keep them sharp, and they'll last a long time. And use good bar oil. Don't put motor oil in your chainsaw. Buy real bar oil. And something I have taken up to doing, I don't know, I discovered it about 20 years ago. Lucas has got a product that you add to motor oil for a crankcase, and it makes the oil tacky. It makes it stick. You've probably seen their little demonstration device where they've got the 3 plastic gears, and you turn the crank, and the one that's just pure motor oil, you barely get any oil to the top gear, and the one that's got the Lucas product in it, as an additive, you get plenty of oil to the top gear. Well, I found out if you put a little bit of that Lucas product in with your bar oil, it makes it tacky, and it does a whole lot better job of staying on the chain. So if you got a quart of bar oil, add about an ounce of that Lucas to it. Shake it up real good. I think you'll be impressed with the result. I'm actually kind of enjoying running this chainsaw. This saw's got plenty of power. My little Echo is a top handle. It's called an arborist saw. It's for climbing trees and cutting the top side of them and pruning them. I I went out there, had a 12-inch bar on it, and I figured, well, I'll cut from one side and then cut from the other side. But this sweet gum is tough. I mean, when you get into what I'm working with now, cutting up trunks and bigger parts, and it was just too much for that little saw, so I broke this thing out. But when I broke the saw out, I got looking around and discovered some things. I got to notice, and I just didn't think nothing of it, of all the times the last so many years of going into John Deere dealer and seeing all the steel products at the dealer. Didn't ask, didn't talk about it. Well, got looking on the web and found out that John Deere no longer has these saws built for them by EFCO. They've signed a contractual agreement with Stihl to represent steel products at John Deere dealers, and they've gone through the necessary technical training to become certified steel repair specialists. So it's steel products now for chainsaws and blowers and string trimmers and stuff like that. And then I did a little more research, and I found something that was really, really annoying. A lot of the dealers here in America, see, EFCO is an Italian company, and a lot of the dealers here in America that were servicing EFCO products are no longer doing it because they'd gotten into a conflict with EFCO concerning warranty payments. So I bought this saw on a whim. I knew the saw I had was a piece of junk, and I wanted a real saw, and this one having over 3 horsepower, I decided, yeah, that'd be great. And bought it back in 2001. And best memory serves me, it was about $190 back then for it. And I've always been happy with it. But now I think I'm going to have an issue if I have any serious repair needs. Yeah, I'm back to using this Nikon camera, and it turns itself off. Anyhow, I was talking about serious repair needs for this saw. And if I can't find parts, and if I can't find, you know, a way to get it repaired, then I'm probably just going to have to bite the bullet and junk the thing and go buy myself a nice big Stihl. So anyhow, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. For now, saw runs great. I did look around to see air filter. Yeah, I can get one of those, but I've kept this one clean. It's no big deal to clean out an air filter if you don't let it get totally clogged. But I was thinking about, yeah, it's sharpening up nice. You know, you got, it's like that Ford tractor. New Holland took that over, and that tractor's 1970. And the few times that I've had to go chase a part down for that thing, it's been fun. You go up to the New Holland dealer in Raleigh, and there's one guy up there who was pretty old. He was there when they were a Ford dealer. And everybody tells you go talk to him, and there's a line of people standing there waiting to talk to him because he's the one that can find the parts for you. Yeah, I've watched a couple of Jake Ziegler's videos about rebuilding that little tractor he just rebuilt, and I could relate when he was talking about having to go find the parts for it. When you keep old equipment running, parts can be a real issue. And it was last year, no, year before last, the bearing on the rasbar cylinder over on the, if you're standing behind the machine, it'd be on the right side. That's the side that's got all the pulleys on it. That bearing just went to pieces, and I didn't catch it in time, and it tore the bearing housing all to pieces. And I had a fit trying to get things apart, the bearing was actually seized onto the shaft. I broke 2 perfectly good gear pullers trying to pull it off. And finally I just said, enough. I need to get this machine back in the field. So I called John Deere Field Service to come out and fix it. And that was kind of scary, but Larry took a torch and cut that bearing off that shaft while I stood there with the garden hose and sprayed water inside my combine to keep it from catching on fire. And it smoldered and it smoked for a while, but he was good with the torch and he got the bearing off of it. But as we were looking at things, he said, well, you're going to need a new housing. I didn't think nothing of it. I done got him involved with it. I found out he was gone 2 days. He comes back to help me put everything back together. And I looked at the part, and you could tell it wasn't brand new. I said, Larry, where'd you get this? He said, had to go down to the junkyard in Goldsboro to find one. It's discontinued. We don't make them no more. And I said, oh my. Well, I was just glad he knew, you know, where to go get something like that. I don't know, I never talked much about this, but I'm 60 years old, and I'm enjoying this farming, but I just cannot see going out and putting a whole bunch of money into new equipment. I mean, one of these fancy new combines would be nice, one where you sit in the cab and press a button and the adjustments are made. Had a comment the other day on that video where I was just talking about the adjustments. I was charging the battery because I need to crank the combine to make the adjustments. And somebody said they'd like to see how that was done. So let's just talk about, for example, slowing the RASBAR cylinder down. Well, there is a control lever inside the combine that's on a chain about the size of a bicycle chain that turns a gear that parallels to another chain about the size of a bicycle chain that turns the 2 gears that are on the spindles that those variable sleeves are on. And as you turn that, it's how you actually move the 2 sleeves in and out. Well, those sleeves have to be timed, or in other words, you need to get it to where the top one's fully closed and the bottom one's fully closed, and then they're in time. Well, something's bent. I mean, it's a 1976 year model combine, and something is bent. And I was adjusting RASBAR speed, I guess about 15 years ago, and I started moving that lever. I wanted to slow it down. The man told me at the mill, said, your beans are damaged and your RASBAR's too fast. So I wanted to slow it down. Well, that chain jumped off, and I didn't know it. I'm sitting up in the cab moving the lever, and the chain connecting the top variable sleeve to the bottom variable sleeve jumped off. And I thought, well, this thing's getting easier to move. It must be freeing up. And I sat right up there and kept on ratcheting the lever. And I noticed, you know, it was slowing down because the RPM measurement's taken off of that top cylinder, top variable sleeve. Well, then I went around there. You have to get out of the cab and get down on the ground, walk around the side of the combine to look at it. And I saw the chain hanging off. And I got to looking, and the top sleeve was big difference from the bottom sleeve with the gap. And I said, oh no, this is bad. And sure enough, I've got the operator's maintenance catalog book manual, and I sat down, got me a cup of coffee, and started reading all about it, and said, oh, I have messed this up. I've destroyed the timing on this. And I went through the procedure and read it and read it and read it, and finally got it in my head what I was going to have to do to fix it, and lost a whole day to it. Got it back timed right, got the chain back on, and then saw, okay, this is what's wobbling, and this is what's bent, and this is what's wore out, and that's why the chain comes off. So with both of the cylinders in the position they were in, I believe I had the Rasbar cylinder running about as fast as it would run, and I was back to the point of, well, I really need to slow this thing down now. So I'd move the lever a little bit and then get out and go around there and see if the chain was still on. Real annoying. And when we changed it for the wheat, I told cousin Scotty Rock about this. I said, you stand over here and watch this chain, and if you see it start to come off this sprocket, you go to beating on the side of the combine or yelling or doing something to get my attention. So I stopped turning the lever, and we did that, and it worked great. About 3 times he went to yell and stop, and then all it took was just back up a little bit the other way, and he took his finger and put things back in line and then said, yeah, go again. So I'm thinking serious about asking him to come over and help me make that adjustment on that thing. But that's the one that'll mess you up in a heartbeat, when that chain comes off and you get those 2 sleeves out of time with one another. Well, where am I at with this? I got that one. Where is the colored in link? Yeah, the really nice thing about those glasses, they record 8 minutes. You could miss about 10 seconds when they turn off. No, they don't turn off. They close the file, save the file, open a new file, and keep right on recording. Of course, the battery life on those things is about 50 minutes. Anyhow, I was talking about I lost my link. I found it and turned my saw around. Now I'm working on the other side here. I'm hoping, see, tomorrow at the cigar shop I close, so I got to be at work at 11:45. Hoping to step out the door at about 6 a.m. Got a load of wood on the back of the truck to take to the pile I'm putting it in. Get up back over to where the big mess is at. Start with this saw up another load of it. Sweet gum is just, I would give this stuff away to somebody. If they wanted it, they'd come get it. That'd be nice, but it ain't gonna happen. Nobody wants sweet gum. The fellow that took that other load, I got in touch with him before I'd cut these logs so short. These logs I'm working with now are 6-8 foot long, and he don't want anything that's less than 13 foot. I sure wish I'd have got in touch with him before I cut these logs too short, because that was nice when he came and got that load he got. That saved me a bunch of work. This is my weak side. The other side, you notice that I've turned the saw around and I'm having to use my right hand. I'm left-handed. This side is the side that I've never really gotten that good at doing. But if you don't get it even, and I've in learning, that saw stay still. Sometimes you put the bar in a vise to hold it, but I don't really want to press all that hard with the file. So I just need to remember to pull slightly back. But you can actually mess one of these chains up so bad by having, say, the left side really nice and sharp, and then you dorked up the other side. The chain will actually pull, and you can't keep saw straight for nothing. I've had one messed up like that. It was where I was back in my days when I was learning how to sharpen. It takes me about twice as long in this direction because of trying to make sure I've got the file held right. But I get there. Well, everybody, that's something I wanted to say to y'all. So I'll spin the camera around here. I don't look like much right now because I've been working hard as I could go since I got home. I really have enjoyed this YouTube. Making videos and putting them out there, having people watch them, comment, see the number of views, and then see people put that thumbs up on them. And I remember when I hit 100 subscribers, I was so excited. I thought that was the greatest thing in the world, and I was really appreciative of it. Gave thanks to certain people that helped get me there by mentioning my channel on their channel where they had lots of subscribers. But I was looking at the subscriber count yesterday, and I'm just truly amazed. It's at 922. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has hit that subscribe button, who's taken the time to watch my videos and the additional time to leave comments. Thank you very much. Hoping to get my glasses back before harvest time so I can make some enjoyable videos for the harvest, and I'm hoping that y'all will enjoy them and watch them. I was talking about operating a combine and needing my hands to do everything you have to do in a little John Deere 3300. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. I'm going to finish sharpening up my saw, and it's about 10 minutes to 10, and I need to get on in the house and get cleaned up. So I hope y'all have a good night, good morning, good evening. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.